prep versus drag build. Lots of build ideas. There's a lot. I have a lot to say. There's a lot of things to cover. The shop update. We did get the permit for that. I'll mention that later for anyone who joins later. But yeah, there's just a lot to talk about. And I was going to work on the turbo truck today. I was going to start on that, but we're leaving for clutch kickers day after tomorrow. And there's a lot of prep work involved with that. And I've still got to load the car up and get things ready tomorrow to load the car up and get going. So I hate starting on a project if I know I can't finish it or at least get to a good stopping point. So I decided to wait and we do a live stream. Haven't done a live stream in a couple of years. So no prep. So I think that's probably the biggest topic. Well, first off, actually, so the reason it's difficult to work on a project right before clutch kickers, that run race programs and stuff, it's just, there's a lot involved with, let's say, going to clutch kickers, right? So it's 5 days to go to clutch kickers for 2 days. So tomorrow, Thursday, is that tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow, Thursday, load up, prep, mount tires if I haven't already. Luckily, I did that already. You know, get loaded up, get ready to leave in the morning. Friday, travel day, drive there, get set up, so on and so forth. Saturday, Sunday, comp, and then we stay Sunday night now and drive back Monday, get back Monday afternoon. So it's 5 days. So if I did a comp like that every weekend, I'd only have 3 days during the week to get stuff done because, you know, I'm doing everything myself. I'm prepping, I'm loading, I'm driving there. So anyway, the point is, I wanted to start on the turbo truck. I was planning on it, but here we are. Didn't start on it. We'll be starting on it as soon as we get back. I have been pushing that build off for way too long, just in general, turbo LS build. We're finally gonna start on it. I'm really excited to do that. It's gonna be cool, and I've got almost all the parts for it. I'm sure there will be some tiny little part that I forget and I gotta wait 2 weeks for and it halts progress. That always happens, always happens. But for the most part, we have everything. All the engine stuff, transmission should be here soon. Torque converter, those are like the two big things we're waiting on. Got the turbo, I got everything. So that's happening. Okay, a lot of questions about no prep, the 180SX. There was someone who sent a thing. Hold on, I gotta find it. I want to say thank you. Oh, this is hard. These are moving pretty quick. Why is it, where'd it go? Oh, Chris Nyheiser. My dude, good evening. Thank you. Okay, pro drift car versus no prep car. So if you've watched some of the recent videos, you know that's something I've talked about before, debating between the two, and it's been a tough decision, but I think I've at least convinced myself to build a new comp car. I've been daydreaming of some builds, gone a lot of different directions, and I think no matter what, I'm going to build a new comp car. And the thing is, it's time sensitive more so than no prep is. We'll get into that. I got a good plan for no prep to make that happen soon too. But first off, new pro drift car. So the thing is, I'm kind of at the limit with the Miata. Let me go take you guys over there. So here we go. The Miata. So the thing is, this car I could not run prospec in, even if I wanted to. I can't, because the biggest reason is wheels and tires. So I run 15s on this car, and I've put a 17 on here. You lose sidewall, you got to go with a smaller sidewall tire. It looks like a clown car. It doesn't work. For prospec, you've got to run 18s. You got to run a 255, 35, 18. So it's a spec tire. Not only that, but 2,900 pounds with driver. So the car's 25 now, 27 with me in it, just about. So we'd have to add 200 pounds. We'd have to run 18s, which is just not possible. So all the other stuff that makes it not work is kind of, you know, besides the point. So the other problem is we have an aftermarket front subframe that's pretty much standard in Miata swaps to fit an engine, or to fit any swap engine. The stock subframe's bulky, so we could put a cut up stock subframe in here, motor plate it, and boom, we're good to go. But again, the problems are bigger than that. The tire is the biggest thing. If they would have let me run these 225s or a 225, another one, I don't even care. I would just try prospec in this car because I could give it a shot. Why not? But I can't. They don't want me. So that's where the dilemma lies. Basically, hold on, I missed another one of these. I wasn't reading these fast enough. Vinny Maddox, thank you. Merch restock, I'm working on it. They're ordered. The shirts are ordered. So yeah, that's where the dilemma lies, right? Because we're pushing the limit of that car. We really are kind of like at the limit. Where did you guys go? Oh, it's back. You guys went away for a second. So we're at the limit of that car in really every way, right? We can't really put a bigger tire on it and put more grip to it. Right now, we're using every ounce of horsepower we have for the amount of grip we can put in it with the Nitto 225s. Oh, wow. Bryce Falconer, thank you. Wow, it's moving too fast. I'll have to read that out after. So yeah, using all the grip, using every ounce of horsepower we have for the grip. So if we add a little more power, it's just exponentially more expensive to add more power. That's the difficulty. You know, it's like the car makes just under 500 right now. To make 550 even, I mean, it'd be like $5,000, like baller heads, bigger cam, so on and so forth. It's not really worth it. Finally driving clutch kickers practice. Oh, that's sweet. Ford borrow soft mark. Yeah, that thing's really cool. Reese Woldoff. Man, you guys, this is going so fast. I'm sorry. I'm not getting sidetracked. Make a little more power. Expensive. We can't really use any more power because we already have all of the grip, right? We can't really get much more grip. Hard to get much more power. Okay. Other issue is we're at the limit of the drivetrain components. Let's run this thing up on the list so you're not just staring at my face this whole time. So, again, limit of the drivetrain components. Thank you all for the stuff. I'm sorry I can't read them fast enough. I got tiki torches going. Dude, this is so disappointing. So I bought tiki torches at Walmart to help with the mosquitoes, right? I went to light them. I was out here. I was like, these mosquitoes are ripping. I went to light them, and I realized you have to buy the fluid separate. So anyway, let's run this thing up on the lift. It's going to be loud for a second. Quality is meh. Is the quality meh? Let me know. Maybe I got to go inside where I have better internet. This is loud. This is going to take a while. This moves kind of slow. Can someone say if the quality is meh? Slow mode. Requesting shop build content. There will definitely be shop build content. And a lot of it feels like an eternity when you're on one. Yeah, no, it's without the cut height, it takes a second. It looks even slower in the background. All right, I'm just gonna turn it around. Okay, so quality's okay. Okay, thank you. Just checking. So, right now we have a stock 350 Z-Trans, right? Luckily, it's a new one. Normal drive shaft, and then we have a Ford 8.8 diff with just standard conversion axles. They're actually different from one side to the other. So these are stock parts store axles with a different axle shaft. That's it. So they're not some crazy high horsepower, crazy axles. Trans is stock, single plate clutch. It's not that crazy. Now someone says it's, oh man, I don't know, guys. I don't know if the quality's good or not. Okay. All that stuff we are pushing to the absolute limit. Here's $20 for travel snacks. Oh, thank you. I missed the name. Oh, it's not even Fraz 33. Okay. All that stuff's at its limit. Moral of the story here. If we make any more power or really put any more grip to it, we're going to start breaking stuff. And I mean, what's helping us too is the tires. Small wheel, small tire, lightweight wheel and tire combo. You know, that helps a lot. It's a lot less drivetrain strain. So what I'm getting at here is really to push the car any further. We're kind of at a wall, and we really, if we do more power or find more grip somehow magically, we will then need to upgrade the drivetrain components, put a race trans in it, probably maybe better axles. So it's like, well, I really want to put 10 grand of trans stuff in this car, and then I still can't do any more with it than I'm doing now. So that's my big struggle. And that was what led me to the prospec road. I hadn't even considered prospec until this whole, and basically what has happened is now I just want to build another car. How much would you ideally have to putting competitive no prep? Yeah, no, see, that's the difficulty about the no prep thing. We're getting there. Oh man, I lost. Okay, so I've convinced myself to build a new car. I just want to build a new car, to be honest with you. I mean, I built the Miata 3 years ago, and yes, there's been different iterations since, but I feel like I could do a much better job building a car now. And I've learned a lot of things over time building a car. So I want to build a prospec car. So basically, my plan has changed. Everyone knows the Vet has been the thing that I've been talking about building for a long time. I'm going to build a Vet. I'm going to build a Vet. And that was my plan for a while, but there's a couple complications there. One, vets are expensive. Just the base car themselves, they're expensive. Two, the transmission stuff is incredibly expensive. No matter how you slice it, it's 20 grand, basically. There's new things coming out, but basically all the race transmissions are sequential. You can't run a sequential in prospec, so you have to run a stock built trans, which is then complicated because you can't take it apart and service it easy. There's another option coming down the pipeline, but again, 20 grand minimum for the drivetrain stuff. Now, it's expensive in any car, but significantly more. Problem two, the vets are, I agree, time to start a new chapter. That's kind of the whole point here. Just build something new. The vets are hard to work on. No matter how you build them, you can make them a full race car. They're still difficult to work on, which is part of what makes them good. It's the way they're designed, flat floor pan, so on and so forth. So there's those caveats. And that led me to, well, what would be another car that I could build? And I don't want to give it away because it is pretty unique. And I don't want to say I'm going to do it and then I'd go and get a vet anyway, but it's a pretty unique car. It would be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about the idea. And with the vet, the plan was Texas Speed 427, 600 horsepower NA, simple, reliable. That's like, my middle name is LS's are reliable. That's just like my thing. But I've kind of changed my mind on that a little bit. And I want to do a different engine platform. And I think it would be rowdy. And the idea here is, as I thought about building a prospec car, my other thought was, well, if I'm just going to do clutch kickers, do the quality tank? Oh, is the quality good? Can we get a quality check? Do I need to go back out in the garage area? Right, if I'm going to build a car just for clutch kickers or something, it would be a completely different build than I would build for prospec. Prospec, you've got a minimum weight, 2,900 pounds. There's all these rules and regulations and things. So it just would be very different. Whereas the clutch kickers type stuff, those big payout shootout kind of events, they like, there's no rules usually. And I mean, I'm worried that someone will build a car for, no rules, and then they'll make rules. That would kind of suck. But there's basically no rules. So anyway, point is, you could build a super light car for that kind of stuff if you were going to do that, and then you build a heavier car for prospec. But I found a way where I think I can do both. I can have two setups, right? I can have heavy bash bar and this and that, and get it up to prospec weight, and then kind of change all that stuff out and get it down to, clutch kickers type of things weight. So yeah, anyway, that's the idea. Again, I'm not going to give it away, the engine or the chassis. I'm going to drive it. There's a car that's already built that I might buy as a shell. I'd love to help you with shocks for a drag car. Okay, we're getting there, drag car. But there's a car. It's already built. Very uncommon. And the guy who has it, I know him well, and he's like, I hate the car. I think it drives terrible. I think it's going to be the best thing ever for me. I do. To me, on paper, it's going to be an amazing car. But he hates it. So he's like, I don't want you to waste your time buying it, building it, if you hate it. So like, come up here and drive it. So I'm going to fly to this location and drive this car and see if it's good. And if it's good, he's going to take a lot of the drivetrain stuff, and I'm going to build it as a whole new car. But it's already got a cage and all that stuff. So I keep missing these green ones, man. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I feel like you're going to go with Coyote Mustang. No. Oh, no. What did I click? How do I get out of this? Okay, I'm good. No. So, no prep car. Here's how we can do both, right? This is kind of, I'm excited about this. So, I was watching the Street Racing channel, and they bought this Falcon, Ford Falcon, like already built no prep car. And, they still get to tinker with it. They got to use it. They got to make it work. And it dawned on me, like, I could just buy an already built no prep car. Now, I'm probably not going to find something that nice. That's a really nice car, really well-built car. But if I found something, then I could just start doing it, right? I don't have to wait the whole time of building it. And the other big thing is, we go back to the Miata, right? I said, I can build a car, in my opinion, a drift car, a lot better now than 3 years ago, because I've learned so much over those years of working on the car and taking things on and off and driving the car. So same concept applies here, right? I've never drag raced. I've definitely never no prep raced. So if I was going to no prep race, I'd be building a car off of what Have a Dr. Pepper on me, Kurt. I already got one. It's ready. Hold on, do you see it? They stopped selling the Pibs, dude. Can't get the Pibs anymore. I went without Pibs for a while, and then they brought them back, and now I can't find them anymore. Basically, drive the no prep car, learn, tinker with it, improve on it, modify it, and then first off, see if I'm really going to be that into it. 2, if I'm going to really have time to do 2 motorsports and which one I'm going to put priority on and all that stuff. And then 3, I'm going to learn a lot. What I like and don't like. Like maybe I find out I don't like an LS platform. Maybe I find out this other thing's better. Learn all those things. And then if I'm going to build an all-out car, at least I have that experience to, to go off of. So the turbo truck, the thing is, drag racing is not boring. I thought it was too. No prep is really cool. I promise you. And when I did the pass in Ruby 8-second pass, that kind of opened my eyes to what drag racing is like. So the turbo truck, the goal is to make it a street truck. That's another benefit to buying. Look up Turbo Bullet Facebook group. I've been looking on there. I need to see if there's like a fully built, like an already done car. I found a lot of chassis. That's what I was looking at before. I was trying to get a chassis and build it. I just like building stuff, to be honest. That's the big thing. And I struggle with, there's a lot of times where I want to just build stuff for the content of it. Something interesting, boom, knock it out, go drive it. I mean, that's really probably the way to be successful on YouTube. It's just build stuff quick, cut corners where you can, right? You're not trying to make every last piece nice. For me, everything I build, I want to build it. Like, it's something I really want, and there's a purpose for it, so I want to do it right. I want to make it nice. I can't live with myself if I just zip tie the fuel lines to the brake line under the car. No, I got to P-clamp them. I got to do all that stuff. So it's hard for me because it makes it harder to just fly through cars. But the other thing is, like, I like the progression. I like trying to build each car better than the last car I built. That's like what I'm always shooting for. And that's what keeps me going. Like, that's what keeps me from getting burnt out because, I'll come up with some idea of something I want to build and I'm like, sick. Like, I'm ready to do it and like trying to do things better than before. That's what's fun. And then the end product. So, yeah, that's the thing about building a drag car. It's going to be pretty labor intensive. So if I get one, I can try it out and see where it goes. I'm so stupid. I got questions. I wrote them all down from Instagram. A lot of people commented on there, and I can't get to that because I'm on the live stream. So let's see. Michael Moses, your JDM content is great and stands your channel apart. The only problem with the JDM stuff is there's a lot of people doing it, and I'm not the guy who like knows every odd and end of JDM cars. Like, I can't tell you if that one ESX has fake or real Ganadors, and to be honest, I don't really care. Like, they look like them. That's all I need to know. Looks fine. So people were mentioning doing the 180 as a pro car. Not a great pro car. One, it's kind of an expensive base car because it's JDM and whatever. 2, that's not really what I want as a pro car. I like trying to find something different, and not just to be different. Like, oh, I just want to be different because different's cool. No, I like to find something that's different that people aren't doing that might work better, because that's the fun. That's like the Miata. Everyone told me that Miata was a terrible car, that this car was never going to work. The Miatas are terrible. Poor car, right? People are saying all sorts of mean things about it. No, but for real, everyone said that a Miata, that they were terrible drift cars. Too short a wheelbase, not going to work, so on and so forth. And the car worked great. And then when it worked and started winning stuff, everyone said it was a cheater car. So it's like, you can't win. But that was fun because the build idea, do you think it'd be worth rebuilding an RB25 LS swap? That's tough. Depends on what you want to do. If you want it to be a drift car that's reliable, LS swap. If you want it to just be cool and fun, RB. So, yeah. When it started working, people said it was a cheater car. And it's just kind of how it goes. But it was cool to do something different. And I had a plan that would work, because they're fast on small tires and light and so on and so forth. That car's 2,500 pounds. And it worked. It worked. And I like that. I don't know. I guess there's some rewarding in that. No prep build just got here. Let's see. Man, I had so many good ones. There were so many good ones. I'm so sad that I missed it. I left the thing. So there was a question, why is my girlfriend on the videos? Because she doesn't want to be in the videos. I mean, she just doesn't like it. I don't blame her. Trade the little green Ripper for a C10. Oh, man, I love the little green Ripper. I would love to see you do either, but prospect more. Yeah. The thing is, I'm just already so invested in the drifting. But it's a catch-22 because that's like what makes me want to do something else, because I've kind of peaked when it comes to fun drifting. Like, I can't really progress any in terms of driving for fun. You know, me and Ben go to clickers and we can pretty much set our tire on each other's door for the whole lap. And something I've learned is that progressing in things is the most fun part. Like, when you're not good at something, it's the most fun, because every time you take a step, you're learning and progressing, and there's that satisfying feeling of that. So I like the idea of learning something new. And with no prep, follow your passion. If you enjoy it, we will. Thank you. With no prep, it's something new to learn. And I like the idea of tinkering with the car and, you know, like trying to make it faster. You know, it's like you modify a drift car and you're like, I think it feels better. You know, I'm one of those people, dude. I don't think setup matters in drift cars. To a small extent, it matters. But I drove my car for I don't know how many months. I drove it for a year plus, never checked the front toe, never. And then when I did finally check it, it had an inch of toe in from all the door taps and their tie rods getting bent. I had no idea, man. I had no clue. I couldn't tell. You know, unless something's majorly wrong, I can't tell. Do you see yourself drifting when you're 45, 50? I thought that was a good channel. Where do you see your channel? Oh, that I don't know. I mean, hopefully it's still here and we're still building cars. This is, someone asked in the other questions, like, what's your, like, next goal? You got the house, you got the shop, drift car, truck. And I don't know, I'm not really one of those guys that has, like, all these crazy goals and I'm always trying to push to the next level. I admire that, but I'm just not that guy. I'm not that guy. Like, I'm happy, I'm content. I just like working on my stuff in the shop, going drifting. Like, that's what makes me happy. So really, my main goal is just to try to pay my house off earlier than the freaking 30 years. Just try to pay extra on it, pay it off early, and like once the house is paid off, then it's like ultimate freedom, right? Because all you got to come up with is power bill, house insurance, which you technically wouldn't even have to have it. You know, you don't have to worry about having a roof over your head anymore and making that payment. And I feel like you could do a lot more. I mean, it's kind of like living in a van except in a house, right? No prep is fun. Cletus content is great, but no prep. I like no. So what I like about no prep, and we kind of drew this parallel recently when we see the old tow rig Chevy getting LS off. That we're doing that. That's starting next week. The cool thing about no prep is it kind of closes the money gap, right? Like prep track drag racing seems like a lot of it's money, especially quarter mile. Second half of the track, like if this guy has 1,000 more horsepower than you, it doesn't really matter. He's just going to go faster than you. So that's kind of a big thing. I like the fact that no prep, depending, right? So there's the no prep that are on the front side of the track, like the normal racing surface. Like I mean, they count. Like, I can't speak on this stuff, dude. I haven't done it. This is my opinion from watching from the sidelines. I watch a lot of no prep YouTube stuff. And it's like by the time a few people run, they're pretty much they're pretty much like, it's like a prep track. Why? Oh, man, I missed that one. It's pretty much like a prep track, right? And then power really matters. When the really crappy surface stuff, like dig or die or those things, the backwards track, it seems like it's really all about car setup and tuner, driver, that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's what I think is cool about it. And I made the realization that basically clutch kickers to FD is kind of like no prep is to drag racing. The smaller track stuff, Taylor needs a JZ. I want a JZ in my life, Craig. I do. One day. I just don't have any car I want to put it in. I want to put it in a small car. It's like the same, right? Because clutch kickers, it being a small track, you can't use as much power. Whereas like the big bank tracks, if you've got 1,300 horsepower, this guy's got 800, and he's all the way gripped up, using every bit of his horsepower, he's going to pull away from you. So it's kind of cool. It's like the smaller track stuff is like no prep. It really comes down to car and driver. Check out Turbo John. I watch Turbo John. I love Turbo John. That dude is awesome. Oh my God, Taylor live streaming. I know, I don't do this very often. It's been a long time. De-junkify is my new favorite word. Yeah, I mean, that's really the name of the game with that 180. You just need to de-junkify. What did I miss, Vision Media? Can someone catch them up? Basically, if you're just joining us, Gonna build a prospec car. I've convinced myself of it. Or, okay, it's not necessarily specifically for prospec. I just want the option to do prospec. You know, I can't do it in my Miata because of X, Y, and Z. So therefore, I'm like, if I'm gonna go through the trouble to build a new car, I want to at least have the option, right? If not, you know, I could just keep going with a Miata chassis. Circle track stuff, I know you enjoyed wheeling around. Yes, circle track stuff is on the, it's in my mind. It's something I've thought about. Ben might be trying it, actually. Sprint car, cheap sprint car stuff. But yeah, decided to build a no prep car. Jeez, so off track now. Decided to build some sort of car, another drift car that I could compete in prospec in. You know, just in case I want to, right? And the main thing that it boils down to is I just really want to build a new car and I want to go kind of wild. I want to put a dog box in it, not a stock Z-Trans, and a winner's quick change, and fabricate all this stuff myself, and whatever. Like, I just want to do it, you know? That's a big part of it, which is why I want to build a no prep car, because I just want to build a drag car. They seem really fun to build. There's so much room for creativity compared to a drift car. You know, the drift car's got to kind of fit in a mold. Enough jibber jabber, more mix splatter. I like that. And you know, if I do build or buy a no prep car, it wouldn't be a more modern car. I don't like them. I don't know why. I don't like them. I think I think the live stream was, yeah, I don't like the newer cars and no prep. I don't know what I would want to build, right? Fox body, definitely one of the best choices. The weight thing, the overhang, they put a lot of weight in the rear. If you had a longer trunk, you can put the weight. Am I back? Comment if I'm back. Oh, in the house. Am I back? Can you see me? Oh, okay, I'm back. Dude, people watching this later are going to get so annoyed. All this. Turn on slow mode. What does that mean? I don't know what this does. Normal. All right, we're going in the house. We'll make this work. Everyone comment drag car or drift car right now. Yeah, true. Yeah, do that. How do I get back to the chat? Oh, this is confusing, man. I should have practiced. You can't really practice it, though. That's the problem. Oh, dude, this is now I have this bar on the bottom. I look like such an idiot right now. Oh, it's pretty hot and humid out there. The pros moving in for. What's up, Tuck? Oh, can you see him? There's Tuck. Here, let me turn you around. Say what up, Tuck. And Sandy. I don't know where the puppies are. You'll get dinner later, bud. Oh, you're coming in. All right, can we get a quality check? Is it better? How do I exit out of this thing, dude? I don't know how to exit out of this thing. This is horrible. All right, guess I gotta deal with it. I apologize, guys. It's a new thing. Quality good. All right, cool. So, I just gotta figure out how to get rid of this bar. Go away. I just want... All right, dude, I give up. We're just gonna let it ride. Hold on, I have to put something behind you. Oh, don't flip over. Oh, man, this is difficult. Drift week, yes. Drift week is absolutely, does my chair go anywhere? On the agenda. It's kind of ironic that I haven't been to Drift week because it was technically my idea originally. I air quote it because I just stole it from Drag Week, right? I was watching a bunch of Roadkill then, and I saw Drag Week, and I always thought Drag Week was like a week of drag racing at a track, you know? I didn't know it was like what it is, and I watched a Roadkill video on it, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, driving these crazy cars, changing heads in the parking lot, like, this is so cool. And And I was like, I would love to do this, but at the time I had zero interest in drag racing. Like, just did not appeal to me at all. And I was like, well, what if we could do it for drifting? And I was thinking through it, you know, and the one roadblock I came up to was tires. I'm like, it's not like drag racing where you have a race set and a street set. Like, if you go through 2 sets of tires per track, you drive 7 tracks. So that's what, 4 sets of tires? 7, 40, 20, 28 tires, right? You're not going to bring those in one car. So that's the difficulty. So Aaron, host events, me and Adam were up there, or over there, for some Lone Star event. And I brought the idea to him. I was like, hey, this is my idea. Again, it's just a copy of Drag Week. It's nothing crazy. I love to do it, but I'm not the event organizer. You're the event organizer. I don't want to deal with organizing it. I want to do it. So if you want to do it, you should do it. And we all kind of got stuck at the same thing. We all met in the hotel lobby. We all bounced ideas back and forth on how you could do it. Everyone have a little trailer and this and that. And then we kind of left it there. Like, we didn't really ever solve it. And then like a year later, Aaron calls me. He's like, hey, we're doing Drift Week. And then I didn't end up going. So that was kind of disappointing. But we will go. We will go. I just want to get rid of this bar. Can someone comment how to get rid of the filter bar? I accidentally clicked it and it won't go away. It just won't go away. Are these projects going to happen before you get the new shop? So the turbo truck isn't going to happen pretty much now. As soon as we get back from Clutch Kickers. I would like to start on the prospec car / doing a drag car, whatever, after the shop was done. But I mean, I'm not going to wait for it, you know? Show us some filters, so we'll click through them. Yeah, I'm not going to wait for it. So if that works out, if that pans out, that would be great. But someone told me how to do it, but I missed it. Click it, what? Click it again. I tried that. Oh. Oh, wow, I'm an idiot. Okay, let's go back to normal. So yeah, that would be ideal though. If I could build the major stuff, best favorite channels, the S chassis from Oz. Thank you, Rick. Yeah, if I could do it with a new shop, that would be ideal. That would be amazing, right? Like new shop, AC, like everything organized, start a build in. You know, that's the tough thing about the shop thing. So speaking of, I mentioned it earlier, but we did get the permit for the shop. So the shop, we have a permit. We're gonna start on it as soon as we can. It's like a 3-month wait list. They said optimistically October would be like the build date. So I'm supposed to tear down at some point in September. So I've got a lot of stuff. I'm going to LS Fest finally. Holly's been a great company to work with. They've done so much for me. And I haven't even gone to their event, so I'm finally going. So we've got some plans. It's going to be like a week-long trip. And then hopefully after that, I'm going to go look at the car that I mentioned, the potential prospect build car. If you're new here, I found it's a different chassis. It has been drifted before, but it is not at all common. And then tear the shop down. So luckily it's kind of panned out where they already put me on the wait list, even without the shop being torn down. So, because they know I'm going to be able to get it done in time. So it doesn't suck as bad. Like hopefully we're only without a shop for like a month, but I really need to start getting things ready. I need to get a container. I need to fix up the garage. We've got a lot. I didn't announce the chassis. I just said it's a different chassis. It's not common, and I'm maybe not putting an LS in it. My original plan was 600 horsepower in ALS, and while that's the logical choice in my brain, there's another choice that's also logical for very different reasons. It'd be easier to work on, lighter, and yeah, so on and so forth. So, yeah, no, it's naturally rear-wheel drive. It's just not a common, oh man, I lost one of the little things. It's just not a common car. I'm giving away too many hints here. And like I said, I'm gonna do it because it's different, but not just to be different, but because I think it would work well. Nick Newton, OP. I don't know meme slang. What does that mean? It's a rhino with an arm. Anyway. Did my neighbor just comment? Build a drag car. Oh, okay. Abandoned small tire roller series. Yeah, I for the drag stuff, small tire, no prep. I don't have the money to do it. Like, it'd have to be my life to do it on like the big tire level or even the prep track, like the X275 cars, dude. They make like 3,000 horsepower. It's insane. Truck turbo size, VS Racing 78, 75. I'm going a little more wild on the engine than I anticipated, so I kind of wish I went with a bigger turbo, but that truck will be a good learning experience to, figure out what I like and what I don't like, make mistakes. Your first build in any type of build, you're going to make mistakes. Like, it's just part of it. You're not so much mistakes, but you're going to learn, I could have done this way, and it would have been a lot better. You helped Cletus with drifting. Maybe he can help you put a 427 in. Yeah, if I built a Vet, it would be basically like Cletus's car. The difficulty is the trans. You can do the stock built trans like he has in the stock diff, but you're stuck to a fixed gear ratio versus having a quick change where you can change rear ratio easily. And the trans is still in a stock case, so it's not easy to take apart. The GSRs and the Andrews dog boxes, they're designed to just be pulled apart. And it's because they have to. Being a straight cut gear dog mesh, you gotta service them. That's the interesting thing is cars, I'm sure some of you have kind of learned this, but as you get crazier, they just get way more difficult, right? You'd think like, oh, I'm gonna put this super expensive trans in my car and it's gonna be super reliable. And you realize like, no, now you got to take the trans apart like a couple times a season and service it. So it's funny. It's a tough balance. Oh, it has a sequential now? What? I didn't know that. Yeah, so anyway, trans stuff for that is expensive. And it's just tough with the transaxle situation. Man, I'm really drawing a blank on the questions that you guys gave me, and it's pretty disappointing. I know someone said if you're going to buy a drift car now with current drift tax on the cars, what would I buy? What would I build? That's a tough question. These still seem to be the move. If you can afford it, a Vet, I still think even with the price of a Vet is the best option for a seat time car. They're comfortable. They're super reliable. You can go freaking 80 on the highway and get 30 miles to the gallon. They drive well, and they're reasonably priced, and they're already LS swapped. Like I think that's the best option. I drove Aaron's Vet, which was better than my Vet, and it is a faceplated H pattern in Donnie. That's what I thought. It was at the time it was the best car I'd ever driven. The car drove so well. So yeah, Vet. I just think it's the best option. If you're going to spend the money anyway, they don't need as much suspension upgrades. The thing with the Vet is it's like a bigger Miata. I mean, it's got the same suspension. It's double A-arm front and rear. That's what allures me to them. But the thing that kind of turns me away is how common they are, which is super ironic because when I bought my original one, nobody had them. The only person really drifting one was Dirk Stratton doing it in pro. Nobody made an angle kit for that at all. We had to do like a custom angle kit. Everyone told me that car wasn't going to work. Vets are meant for straight line. It's going to suck for drifting. And then now it's like one of the most common seat time cars there is. And now here I am not wanting to build one because it's common. The other problem is weight. I mean, I don't know what a stripped down C5 or C6 weighs, but they're pretty heavy. And you need to get down to 2,700 for a pro spec. I mean, you would want to be at the minimum weight if you could. So ASMR time lapse, what's your secret? So that's funny. When I do my time lapses, I put the sound in there instead of music. And some people think it's me being lazy, but it's actually a lot more work. I basically take the main clip is sped up, say, proud of you and how far you've come, Vision Media. Thank you. Cletus doesn't have a sequential, but prospec. Oh, man. Prospec car. For sure. No prep. Okay. Thank you. Basically, I speed up the clip, the video clip 20 to 30 times, sometimes more than that, but on average, 20 times, 30 times, something like that. Then I take the audio clip and I speed it up only 2.5 times. And then I go through and chop it up so that like the sounds match what's happening. They're just sped up enough to where they sound sped up, but not so much that they like you don't even recognize what they are anymore. So anyway, yeah, that's how I do that. It's a lot of work. It'll be like a 20-second clip will have 30, 40 individual sound clips. I like it better. I'm sorry, I'm lost. What about no prep? Plan is buy a no prep car and build and get into it, see if I like it or not, and then eventually build one, learning what I've learned. Okay. Can I buy your Pulsar? I'm keeping the Pulsar. Pulsar is on the project list. Getting a bigger turbo, injectors, fuel pump, and a Haltech, basic stuff. So I'm just waiting on the connectors to build the wiring harness for the Haltech. But it's not going to take very long. So it's not really, it's not a build. We're just kind of upgrading it. The truck is a build, but even in the sense of building an entire car, it shouldn't be that long. It really shouldn't. And like I said, I have most of the stuff, and that's why I've been pushing it off, because I want to wait until I have almost everything and we can just knock it out. Boom. Prospec is expensive, but everything is now, so there's that. Prospec is crazy expensive, and the tough thing is I feel like the competition at clutch kickers is arguably better. Like, you're battling Pro 1 guys, legit Pro 1 guys, and you're battling prospec guys, and you're battling random grassroots guys that are killer, So you're getting better competition, except spending way less money to do it. I mean, depending on where you are. But I mean, it's cheap for me. It's about 7 hours away. I did the math, and I think if I went all the way and used all of my tires, which would be going all the way, I spend like $2,000 around, or like $2,500. You compare that to prospec, people spend for 4 rounds. The cheapest I've really heard of anyone doing it is like 30, 40 grand, which I still like. I'm always like, I feel like it could be cheaper than that, but the stuff just adds up, man. It's just expensive. So that's what's tough. And that's why the prospec thing is such a complicated subject for me, because I want to build a prospec car so I don't want to build another car that can't do prospec, but I don't necessarily want to do prospec. I just want the option to be there. And like I said, I really just want to build a new drift car. Can you give a shop update? Permit, we have it. October, supposed to be the build date. I'm not holding my breath on that. They said it might be sooner, but who knows? Is there any talk of adding a new track to clutch kickers? That would be ideal. They've talked about running different layouts, which I would like. I have a ton of seat time on that layout, but I like that. That's a new, that adds a dimension to the challenge, right? You're like having to dial in on a new track, and that's kind of what separates the men from the boys. A lot of people can run around the same track over and over again and get really dialed on it. So I would like that. I would like for them to at least do other track layouts. I know they've talked about it. Or a series. I really want to just see the clutch kickers thing grow. If that can grow and kind of become a substitute for FD, which it's already on its way there. I mean, then I would just do that. Not have to deal with like the bureaucracy of FD. Not that it's that crazy, but it's expensive. Sandy, you want to come here? Oh, okay, never mind. Freedom factor around. Yeah, so I mean, that would be pretty cool. It would be cool if they could do more tracks, because that's really the main where it's lacking. Otherwise, they do a killer job. Clutch Kickers is awesome. It's a great series. I love it. If it weren't for that, I'd probably already be doing prospec, because Pro-Am wouldn't satiate my desires enough of competing with, better and better people. I wonder, do you think I can go into my notes and look? Hey, I really appreciate you. AD, 2 a.m., 0, Fox, given. I like that. How could fans help you get sponsorships? I don't know. I mean, I think, normal stuff, watching the videos, liking the videos. I don't know if commenting on a company's Instagram or whatever would be, I feel like that might be a bad thing. They might look at that as like, what is it? Did this guy freaking send people after us? I don't know. But I mean, I've been pretty lucky. I've got, Holly has worked with me, BC. I've had a bunch of companies help me out with parts stuff. the thing is, for prospec, I have to go ask these people for money. And like when it comes to parts, I feel like there's value there. You know, if they're helping me out on the cost of a part or whatever, you know, something that I want, like there's value there. But like to ask someone for money for me to go drive this series that not that many people are watching, like it wouldn't feel right doing it, you know? I mean, they do it and people, you know, people get budget from companies. And if I had to, I had to, but I don't know. I don't like the idea of that. That's just weird to me. Further to learning, I never heard about the Nitto sponsorship. What's the deal? It just kind of came up, and I mean, it's not like I'm getting free tires or anything. They just helped me out on the cost of tires, and they've been awesome. Nitto has been incredible. They've done so much for me. They freaking watch the Clutch Kickers rounds and get excited, and it's really cool. The guys over there are awesome. The tires are awesome. You know, I switched to the NTO1s, which are significantly softer, 100 tread wear than the 245 Maxxis Hancooks I was running before, and I expected them to last half as long. And what do you know? They last the same. Me and Ben both do 2 battles on a set, and we can push them to 6-8 laps if we're not needing every last ounce of grip. Run Nittos on all my cars, great tires. Yeah, no, Nittos are freaking awesome, man. Those NTO1s, they drive different, but like in a good way. I don't know. I really like the buy a no prep car ready to go. I agree. I really like them. They work really well. I mean, last time I had my other tires and I battled Taylor Holt, I couldn't keep up. I closed the door at the end of the run, but it was tough. And this time I was able to stay right with them. I mean, I had to be committed to the gas, but you know, we made it work. You should do some content on your girlfriend, teach her how to drift. She doesn't want to be in the videos, which again, I don't blame her. But on Neogens, yeah, we were in the Neogens at the fun event. They worked out really well. Where's the sim content? I do want to make a video playing my Miata on Clutch Kickers, you know, on the sim, and like compare that footage to real life. Like same driver, same track, same car. I think that'd be pretty cool. Love the content, dude. 2001 Trans Am for no prep. I don't know. That's an option. I don't know what car I build. I'm really stuck. Probably something 80s though, just because it's cool. That's my thing that I like too about drag racing is you can kind of build whatever you want. I mean, you're limited with like stock suspension classes and stuff like that. But I don't know, you know, you can kind of do whatever you want. Like put the body of some weird car on it. And that's what I like about it. With drifting, you're so committed to whatever works. Whatever car has good suspension geometry and the right wheelbase and the right weight. And drag racing, it seems like you can kind of make whatever work, you know, if you put the time into it. 180 SX Pro build, no, that's just not a good car for pro. Is your ceiling fan, time to update your ceiling fan. Yeah, these are the ones that came in the house. Drag racing 73 Duster. You know, I gotta look into it. I've been debating. I mean, my heart is set on a G body. Monte Carlo, maybe. Or like a Malibu or something. I really like the idea of a G body. How much would someone have to pay for you to sell your Miata? So, okay, that's something I brushed over that I forgot. So, the thing with building a new comp car is, if I build a new comp car, the Miata loses its purpose. Now, you might say, well, you can use it for a demo car. Don't do a G-body. They don't seem like they do well, like at no prep, but I don't know. Anyway. The Miata will lose its purpose. And you might say, well, run it at demo events. And the thing is, I think it's really important to drive the same car all the time. I think that's the reason that me and Ben have been able to do as well as we have with, you know, half the equipment that some of these other guys have, is just because we drive our cars all the time, the same car. You know, I tried that when I got the RX-7 done. And I was like, oh, I'm going to drive this for fun events and drive the Miata at comp. But then it dawned on me, when you get to the comp, I mean, you've got maybe 6 laps if you sit in line the whole 2 hours before qualifying. The Nofus old comp car. I know, I doubt you'd ever saw that. 6 laps. 2 laps for qualifying, so we're at 8 laps. So in 8 laps, or really 6, you've got to get in the groove. Hopefully nothing's wrong with the car. You got to figure out what kind of tire pressures you want to run for that day, because the track changes all the time. I mean, from one event to another, it might be grippy and it might be loose the next round, you know, from daytime to nighttime. So you got to get dialed in on the track, figure out the car, do all of this, and relearn your car. Whoa, wow. Whereas, you see the puppies. Will's leaving. Ella, come say hi. Why are you so wet? Yeah, so anyway, point is, I think it's very important to drive the same car. Drive whatever you're going to compete in as often as possible. So if I built another competition car, I would want to drive that car at pretty much everything. The only difference would be like the Safiro, you know, for Drift Week or for local events. It's nice to have that car to just be able to drive it there and then like enjoy it, drive home. I am wearing pants. They're freaking Adidas shorts. So yeah, that's the thing. So, but would I get rid of the Miata? That's a tough one, man. You know, I don't really get that sentimentally attached to cars. Do you watch other builds on YouTube, such as the K-Swap Ferrari? No, I didn't watch that one, but I do watch other builds, mainly no prep stuff. That's pretty much all I watch on YouTube right now. Street Racing Channel, Turbo John. But yeah, would I get rid of it? I don't know. That's a tough call. It does have more sentimental attachment to me than any other car would ever have. You know, it was the car that I started YouTubing with, you know, forever ago, and it's gone through so many changes. But if it's going to sit, then what's the point, man? If I'm not going to drive it, then what's the point? I mean, it would be tough because, you know, me and Ben Tannen, to be honest, together are amazing. So, yeah, that's a tough call. If I was going to get rid of it, I would definitely do a giveaway on it. Just because I think that would be the coolest way to do it. It would be the most exciting to, like, you know, have someone win that car. Selling it, it's like if I tried to just put a number on it, I don't think I could do it. I wouldn't sell it. I think, it's not worth it. But I just don't like having cars that sit. I just don't like having cars that sit and do nothing. I mean, the Pulsar, I got Safiro done, and I started street driving that all the time, and I haven't driven the Pulsar in, like, a couple weeks. And then the green truck's been sitting there with a blown transmission for, like, a month. Right, Ella? Yeah, hold on. You guys can see Ella again. And Tuck. There's Tuck. There's Ella. Ella, come back. Ella, psst. Hey. She left. She doesn't care. She doesn't want to be on YouTube. So yeah, anyway, what I was getting at is, you know, it served no purpose, so I don't know what I would do. But I want to build a new car, for sure. Green truck is no prep race truck. The problem is I'm not a guy who can do something that I know isn't going to work that well. You know, like the trucks are heavy. I would like, you know, if I was going to do it, doing like a all-wheel drive truck build, make it super light, all-wheel drive, like that'd be pretty cool. But as far as like just a rear-wheel drive, no prep build, like you're starting with such a heavy platform, like you're never going to be able to get it that light. And, you know, I don't know. And the point of the truck is to be a nice street truck. So that's the other reason why I feel like I should just buy a no prep car and start driving it. Because otherwise I will turn the truck into a race truck. And that is not the point. I want to keep AC, keep cruise control, keep all these nice things, but make 600-700 horsepower and rip around. All-wheel drive, super light truck, all-wheel drive. I think that would be super cool. But there's not a ton of info. Like the guys that are doing it and they're out there fast, like I can't find much on it. I can't find many of them sharing their secrets. Would you ever do a second-gen Hot Odyssey build? I don't think so. No prep build, please. Make the newest chassis like James' car. So I'm torn on that. Part of me would want to stick with like doing a 240 with solid axle and whatever. But the other part of me is like, I want to build an American car. That's part of why I want to build a drag car, because it's something different. I've built so many freaking Nissans and Mazdas and all this stuff. Like, I want to build something that's not what I'm used to building. I think that's part of the allure of no prep. Like, learning a new thing, building a new car. Trailblazer SS frame. Someone just told me how to do it. SS frame, commonly used for all drag truck builds. Yeah, I guess that would be the way to do it. YouTube Commodore? YT Commodore? F-Body Malibu. What? Was that a thing? Some of you guys have cars that we don't have over here. Good job. Oh. This is difficult. Adrian Garcia, thank you. You guys, this is fast. C6, I know, not doing that. Man, I'm so sad that I lost my notes. There were so many good questions on there that you guys came up with. That's a bad idea. Just gonna close this thing out. Talk about strategies drifting without a trailer. Oh, driving to the track. I mean, it's tough, man. Driving to the track it's tough. I like it with the Safiro, but worst case, I can get a ride back and get my truck. You don't want to go hard. Make sure you bring tools with you. You just got to be conservative. Okay, another question. Rocky Mountain Race Week. Well, yes, I would like to do that with the truck. I'm not a rush to get a build done kind of guy. I like to do things right, and I don't like to rush and be disappointed with it in the end. So I wouldn't want to try to rush to get it done for Rocky Mountain Race Week, but I would like to do it for Rocky Mountain Race Week. At some point, I will do Rocky Mountain Race Week, is the point, with the green truck. Okay, the other question was, has Cletus given you jet boat fever yet? And absolutely. I saw Blake Wilkie when he had his. I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. I want to build it. And then Cletus started building one. I was like, this is amazing. And then watching him drive it, I'm like, oh, it looks like the most fun thing ever. It looks like the perfect boat. So I really want to build one, but man, it's just, you hear me, right? Like, oh, let's build a prospec car. We're building a turbo truck. Oh, I want to build a no prep drag car. Like, I don't have time to build all these things at the same time. So I really do want to build one, but for that, I think I'd be better off just buying one. But right now, I'm just in limbo. That's the thing, dude. I would go buy a no prep car today if the shop was done already. But not only do I not have that much space now, when the shop's gone, I'm going to be pretty screwed as far as parking, right? I'm going to maybe have one spot in the garage, maybe two. I could squeak 2 cars in there. So I don't want to go buy another car. And then if I do buy this drift car, for those of you who are not here about the prospec thing, again, oddball build, going to fly up there, drive it. It's a complete car. We're going to be buying it as a shell. So, yeah, anyway, there's just not a lot of room. But I'm just not one of those people that can watch something and not do it. If I watch something, I want to do it myself. I want to do it, There's nothing that I watch that's why I don't watch sports, I watch F1, but, I go-kart. Some people ask about the go-kart. I have it. It's still broken from when I hit the AC unit. Brett at Bushnell ordered me an axle. It's been sitting there. I was going to go fix it up there, and I still haven't done it. I'm a slacker. It's hard, man. It's hard to do 2 motorsports. And go-karting is as easy as it gets, too. You just put it in the back of your truck, bring a few small... So you can, rebuild the whole thing in, an hour. It's crazy. And I'm slacking. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm slacking so much. But I'm going to try to go-kart more. But, again, you hear me. Too many things. Too many things at once. When will you go into the Tail of the Dragon? Oh, we got to do that soon. But at this point, we waited so long, we might as well wait until November. Or not November, but, late October. We got... Clutch Gears ends in October. Past that, there's not a whole ton that I know of that's planned. Oh, well, Drift Week is at the end of October. And plan to do that. So maybe after October, things will settle down. It's been a pretty crazy year. There's been a lot of events. You wouldn't think so with all the stuff that's going on, but I don't know. It's just been busy. When you're running your own program, man, it's tough. Because like I said, 2 days of clutch kickers is 5 days with prep and everything. Because I got to mount all my tires, I got to load all the stuff up, so on and so forth. So it's hard to do multiple types of things like that. What no prep car? No, it's not a no prep car. Drift car, sorry. Drift car I'm going to go look at, test drive. No prep car. Honestly, if you know of someone who has a decent turnkey no prep car for sale, let me know. Send me an email. My email is in the thing. Say, hey, Brent. No prep 944. No. See, I like oddball, but I like oddball when it works. Do you have a Spotify playlist? You know what? WP. Why do I keep putting this? I will set up a Spotify playlist. I really like Atmosphere. That's my main thing. Been listening to it for 10 years. I can just relate to so many of the songs. It doesn't. I just answered a super chat. It's hard. The things move fast. Are you planning a stacker for the garage? Like a stacker car lift? Probably not. I mean, I shouldn't have that many cars. The thing is, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I had more space to store more cars. Oh, man, I'm trying to answer these. If you go prospect drift, don't you need a team then? No prep doesn't. You do need a team for no prep too, though. Like, you got to have a guy to back you in and a guy to do the other stuff. Like, pretty much no matter what, you need a team. So, yeah, but you do need a team for no prep. So, or for drifting, for prospect. And more of a team than, like, it has to be an official team. I think you have to have a spotter. I don't use a spotter. I don't really care. I don't use a spotter, but I think you have to have a spotter for prospect. It's a lot more professional than clutch kickers. So, you know, it's one of those things. You guys got me sidetracked. What was I talking about? How much was the new? Oh, yeah, let me just tell you how much my house was. Did you get shop organization from Adam Savage? No, I have seen a couple of his videos. Taylor, oh man, these are so fast. Taylor of the Dragon Rally meet and greet. That would be pretty cool. It's just, you know, it's a gnarly road. I would hate to like have a meet and greet, like someone crashes their car or something, but I should do that. That trip, man, I only went the one time and I'm dying. I want to go again so bad. Thank you, Dakota. That was very nice of you. Do you miss riding BMX? Yeah. But I just was never that good at BMX, you know? Like, that's the thing about drifting. Drifting's the one thing that I've done that's like came relatively naturally. As in, like, I didn't have to try that hard to progress at it. Whereas BMX riding, I had to work really hard to get good at it, you know? Like, it was just tough. And I mean, I was never even that good. I could do like a tail lip. I could do a 180 bar spin on flat. I could do a 360 bar spin occasionally, like off a ramp. I couldn't do that much. So if I was good at it, I definitely would love to ride. I got to get my bike back from Adam because we like crossed two bikes together and I left it at his house because I was just riding it there. But I want to put a new bike together. Maybe I'll start riding. Just listen to Atmosphere for the first time. I dig it. Dude, Atmosphere is amazing, man. So many songs that I relate to so well. I love Atmosphere. Big thing about no prep, find someone. Last time trying to tap on super chats at the top, you can read them. Oh. No, it's not. Oh, wow. Dude, you learn something new every day. Thank you for that. Prospect can lead to you making decent money. Man, I don't know about that. There's not many people making money drifting. Have you and Adam thought about combining efforts to build a team for Formula Drift? That would be tough, because I mean, it's probably hard enough for Adam to run his program alone, you know? Like, it's a lot of work. I love the live stream. I love to see it's become once a week or every other week. Let me know if you want to see a live stream every so often. Joseph Scott, comment below. Dude, I'm putting these behind my phone to prop it up some so you're not looking at my forehead. And every time I touch it, they fall down. So it's been a struggle, but we got it. Okay, we're good. The only way to make a fortune racing, the only way to make a small fortune racing is to starve in the large one. I love that quote. I'm 50 and I would. What will happen to the Miata? I don't know. You know, maybe I'll actually use it as a demo car. Probably, maybe not. Maybe I'll do a giveaway on it. I mean, giveaway would be real cool. It would be really cool to give away that car. I don't know why. For some reason, I guess because it has the most attachment. But that would be cool. You ever visit Guam? Let's get Sandy on the chat. Okay, let me try to find her, Tim Clark. I know you guys love Sandy. Some of you. Some of you probably don't even. Oh, there she is right here. She's literally right outside the room. Say what up, Sands. Good old Sandy Sands, just living her life, living her best life. Yep. Not allowed outside. Right, Tuck? The shop foreman. I know, she does it remotely right now. Does it via Wi-Fi. She's not allowed out there. There's too many raccoons and freaking armadillos and all sorts of stuff. The kitties are chilling. And here's Ella. She's got her pink blanket. Anyway, back to the task at hand here. If you want a real challenge, build a drift truck. 89, they come twin I-beam front suspension. I think a drift truck would be cool. I mean, my thing here is one day I would like to build like a tube chassis car. Really like Chris Forsberg's 4-seat thing. Like that's a pretty freaking cool build, man. But the EPA is probably going to force us to start building tube chassis cars. So why start now? I'll just wait until I'm forced to build a tube chassis car. But that would be pretty cool. I would love. I like that. I just like trying to do more and more each build. Do you watch Street Racing Channel? They've got a great. I love Street Racing Channel. I watch Street Racing Channel and the dad, the garage, Bill and Bill. I got hooked. I used to watch those videos every so often. Just every once in a while, one would pop up. And then it's tough when you find a new channel. It's like you've really got to commit yourself to watching, maybe the last 3 or 4 videos they posted and watching regularly. Because once you get in the rhythm of like, oh, they're going to this race this weekend, I'm excited to see that. It just makes it a lot more appealing. Whereas when you're just bouncing around and you don't really know the chain of events, it's tough. That's why I try to like recap every time I start a video, because that way, people know what's going on. Volkswagen Death Cart. Fireball Tools. I watched his table video, but I thought it was funny because he was talking about the table I have, which is like a couple grand. I mean, which is still a lot. I think the one he had way bigger than mine, and he was like the other ones he was comparing to like 10 grand, and he's like, yeah, if you want to save a little bit of money, but it's not as flat. I'm like, what? It's like 8 grand. That's a lot of money. Wyatt from the Boosted Boys building a C10 tube chassis, 80s Mercedes. LSX Power Cutlass. That's the tough thing. I mean, I definitely do. Oh, man. See, this is why I need to learn more about no prep, buy a done car, and figure it out. Because in my head, my rallycross team has an open seat. What? Hold on. Wait, we're going to have to look at that. First weekend in October. I probably have no idea what I'm doing. Rallycross, email me so I can tell you I have no idea what I'm doing. Taylor is living a crazy dream. Yeah, no, my life, I got real lucky, man. That's really all it is. Right place, right time. I started working at BC, which was a whole fiasco to even get to that point. They almost didn't hire me. Thank you. Oh, man. Yeah, they almost didn't hire me because the guy I used to work with didn't like me and so on and so forth. And I pestered him, and I finally got the job, which is the only reason I even, was in the position to get the job is because I became friends with Chelsea. And he was working there at the time and got me the job. And then I met Adam through BC because I was doing coilovers on his car. Like we had sponsored him and I was installing them. And he rode BMX and I was like, can I do a trick? And I did a 360. He's like, dang, dude, you're actually pretty good. Like, whatever. We started talking about BMX. And then he's like, I want to get into drifting. And next thing you know, I'm a YouTuber. So basically, I convinced him to bring his car down here. He was going to leave it up in Connecticut. He asked me, I was like, dude, just bring it. Like, it's cool here. Like, there's events all the time. So, so he brought it down, kind of started doing the car stuff and drifting more. And then I didn't have a working drift car at the time. And then we were just eating dinner one day after the skate park, and he was like, you should start a YouTube channel. So it's crazy. My life would be incredibly different without that situation having happened. And I wonder what... Like, Adam would have definitely got as into cars as he is, but it might have taken like an extra year, which would have been interesting. It's funny how that works. One small life event can change so much. Twin Turbo LS or 2JZ? Twin Turbo LS for sure. Huge fan, can't wait. Best Buzzy Drift build. Right now, still a Z. Patrick. Think autocross on the dirt. It's a blast. I'll shoot you an email. Dude, that's... you said first week of October. Ben's asking for Tuck. Oh no. Am I still here? Dude, I am just terrible about clicking this stuff. Also, Ben, to answer your Instagram question, US Air soon. I don't know. Someone else asked if we were going to US Air. Thoughts on the 400Z? Bring back the garage built shirt. Well, we have a new one. It's not the same as the old one, but we have one. Oh man, what was the 400Z? Dude, I don't get excited about new cars because I'm never gonna buy one. Like I'm not the kind of person that's going to go out and finance like a new car. I just, So I don't, I mean, I'm like, oh, it's cool. I made a manual, but it just doesn't really do anything for me. The only vehicle I'd buy new is a truck. And even then, man, I just don't like financing things. This is the house is the first thing I've ever financed in my life. Besides credit cards, which I just use to build credit to buy the house. I don't like, and my whole goal is to just pay off the house as quick as possible and not have to worry about it. Because then you could freaking do whatever you want. You can work at Circle K and pay your bills. That's freedom. So go take the guy's opportunity rally card, be sick. I mean, yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited to see the email. I was going to ask, if you know someone with a no prep car for sale, shoot me an email. Give me the thumbs. Quick without thinking, drag or drift my turbo 5.3 350Z. Drag for sure. For some reason, I hate the idea of a turbo LS drift car. I guess because it's already cramped with the LS and then you're adding all that piping, and just for some reason in my head, I'm like, no, I can't explain it. Curious why you like no prep. It can be dangerous. Concerned fellow drag racer. I like no prep because it's less, I mean, this is me outside looking in, right? It's less of a money game. It's not so much about who has the most horsepower. Obviously, there's setup and all that involved with prep drag racing. But it's a lot about the tuner, right? You know, like looking at the surface, trying to figure out how much it can take, messing around with, suspension stuff and whatever. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. So that's really what gets me, because it seems like you can go out there, dig or die. Yes, I watched those. That's my favorite one because it's really bad surface. You can go out to these no bad surface events, and I mean, you could win the whole thing with like 1,200 horsepower. Whereas you put that same tire on at a prep track against like 120 car fields, like you got to have probably 2,500, 3,000. So it's just less of a money game. It's grassroots, as you just said, Malcolm. No prep is a tuner's game. I mean, it is dangerous. Don't get me wrong. Like, people crash pretty heavy in no prep, but that's what makes it exciting, right? Chrissy doesn't want me to do it. She told me I can't. All drag racing is dangerous. Yeah. I mean, all racing can be dangerous. Would you dry sump an SR20? Yes, I would dry sump anything. If I'm building a car for competition, it's getting a dry sump. I almost dry sumped the Safiro, but I'm like, it's a freaking street car. It doesn't need a dry sump. Fast equals dangerous no matter what. Yes, absolutely. Bracket racing is dangerous and fun too. Yeah, I never really had any interest in drag racing until I saw the no prep stuff. And I was like, okay, I like this, I like this. This seems interesting to me. I like the idea of it all. Looking to start drifting my 328 auto. Should I swap a 1UZ or an S54? S54 for sure. The 1UZs don't make that much torque. And an S54 is money. If you've seen Chelsea's TI, man, that car is a ripper. It says, Jimmy, we rode BMX together. When are you making enough Jibber Jabber shirts? I have them. Well, we're pretty much out of them. But we have a new order coming. Try something, anything you can. Would you build a nitrous car? No, because I'm too lazy. That's the same thing for drag racing or drifting. Like, I think a smart setup is a high horsepower NA build and nitrous. It's simple. It is the simplest way to do it. But I like minimal steps, right? Like, I like things to be as turnkey as possible. I don't want to have to, I don't want to have to change a nitrous bottle every 2 runs and fill nitrous and do all this crazy stuff. It's too much. People always tell me to put nitrous on the Miata, and I'm like, it's just, But plus, there's nowhere to put a bottle. There's literally nowhere to put a bottle. Have you asked Cletus if you could drive Ruby down the quarter mile? I did, and it was pretty amazing. I was surprised. Coming from a guy who's never drag raced, it was pretty intense, that first hit, like the launch. I mean, really, the whole run was like a bit of a blur to me. I haven't had that tunnel vision feeling since I started drifting, so that was cool. It's one of those things. It's like I went skydiving when I was 18, and for the first 6 months, I could tell you exactly how crazy it was. And then after 6 months, it's like, I don't remember. I don't remember what it felt like. Well, you have to go do it again. Build a turnkey Corvette. Would your drag car? EFI, for sure. I know Street Racing Channel, and they're about the carburetors, but I'm a new school guy. Let's see. Love your content and the jibber jabber. Tyrone Robinson. Built track. One of the Pulsar upgrades soon. Starting on the turbo truck first, and then Pulsar will probably be one of those times where I forget, like I needed a part, and like we're waiting for a part or something, and I need to buy the harness. Dude, this guy. Would you buy a Chevy SS sedan? I can't justify really any newer car. Really, the only newer thing I'd want to buy is a truck, just because, you know, it's nice to have that reliability. But I mean, I built my whole truck, so I didn't have to buy a newer truck. But I can send you Aussie Barras. I heard that they have vibration, like resonance issues, like K-Series. I didn't know that. E46 build, Rick. No, maybe no. The problem is there's so many of them. It's common, and I don't know how I've turned into that guy who doesn't like common. Come get this SR. What rare high compression SR in my garage? I'm local to you. David, send me an email. Oh, dude, I keep clicking the wrong thing. Centrifugal supercharger is the way for no prep. Yeah, I'm a turbo guy. Keep it up, J3. Thank you. Build a big tire Miata. No. Like I said, I want to get away from doing the same cars that I've always done. That's the big thing. So yeah, have I covered all the things? Trailblazer SS, dude, those look sick. I saw one in a no prep video the other day that was ripping. Ella, what's up, dude? Ella. All right, man, I'm gonna try. Oh no, I almost dropped you. I wonder if I can. Okay, well, that didn't work like I expected it to. I apologize. I'm terrible at this, man. I watch people's live streams, you know, and it's always like, can be painful to watch back, right? Like, different than when it's live. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a better live stream where people can watch it as like its own thing. It's going to be terrible to watch for anyone who's not here right now. Is your computer on? Yes, probably. 944, 924, 928. Collaborating with Adam. Are body panels required for prospec? Yes, and I think you have to have all your body panels on. You know, I know that a lot of the teams fix their body panels if they damage them before going back out. I don't know if that's a rule or they're just, you know, want to be professional. Ford Falcon drag car, maybe. I should be professional. Ford Falcon drag car, maybe. I just need to find an already built no prep car that I can buy. I just want to do it so bad. Like I said, I just can't watch stuff and not do it. And every time I watch a video, I'm like, I just want to go push the trans brake button and two-step and launch. Like, I just want to do it myself so bad. Do you see yourself, oh, man, it goes too fast. Do you see yourself collaborating with Adam in the future? We collaborate all the time. I mean, I moved away, so I was like 2 hours away, so we only hung out at events, and I need to go over there with the Safiro, and we need to do four-door, whatever color our cars are, tandem. Copper, I guess, copper, brown, I don't know what color it is. All right, guys, get your last questions in. We're going to end it off here because I'm a slacker. Next time I will write down the ideas because there is so much I wanted to talk about. And I'm going to be sad that I didn't get to all of it as soon as I end this and I see them. So I'll do that better next time. Let me know if you want to see more live streams too. Voice is getting a little... Are you building a new drift car? Yes, if you weren't here earlier, we're building a new competition car. But I'm not telling you what it is yet because it's too exciting, but I'm really excited about it. That's the big thing and the difference from the Vet. The Vet is a bigger Miata. It's naturally aspirated, LS. Any updates on the garage? Permit is approved, waiting for October, hopefully is when it's going to go up. LS, NA. I used to hate on people so much for calling LS drift cars boring, and I love them because NA, naturally aspirated, is reliable, right? There's way less failure points than you have with a turbo car, but it can be a little boring. It can be. And like the idea of building a Vet, even though it's going to have like 100 more horsepower with an NA V8, is the most sound and logical idea, but the other idea way more exciting. Like the other idea gets me hyped, like just thinking about it. Like I just want to start doing it now. Favorite F1 driver team, Max Verstappen, Red Bull. I used to hate Max Verstappen. Watching his stuff back in the day, love Max now. I guess I started to like him watching him send it. So yeah, that's favorite F1. And my favorite FD driver has to be Chelsea because, you know, the first time I ever went to an FD round, like 7-8 years ago, I was there with Chelsea. Me and my buddy Grafton drove a car up for our other friend, and we stayed with Chelsea at the house they had rented. And that was really what turned me off of competition drifting for a very long time. Just seeing, like, I'm like, this dude is an amazing driver. He is way better than I'll ever be. And he's struggling, man. It was a struggle. That dude hustled, pulling the trans out, putting a new clutch in it, like, before a session to get out and go qualify. Like, I was like, this is a lot harder than I thought it would be. And that put me away from competition for the longest time. And now I'm slowly creeping my way back up to wanting to do it. But I've enjoyed it. The thing with competing is, you know, I kind of can't do much more as far as fun events. I do want to travel with Ben and go drive more tracks we've never driven in the Miatas, but competition's that new challenge. And that's, you know, that's what's fun about it. But it's tough because, you know, it's a lot of time. And like when I think about going to clutch figures, I'm excited. And then like when it comes up to it, I'm like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm like not looking forward to having to take it seriously. I'm not looking forward to knowing like going out there, like I've got to do well right now. You know, it's just such a different mindset from fun events when you're like, I'm just going to go drive my little heart out and try to do the best run I can. Whereas comps, I'm like, I have to do good this run. So anyway, it's a love-hate. When you're doing well, it's obviously the best thing ever. You know, when you're winning, it feels great. When you're beating, you know, top level guys, heads up. But that's my thing too. I want to beat people heads up. Should I get an E36 or an E30 for my first shift car? E36 for sure. Much better rear suspension design. The E30 suspension kind of sucks. But E30s are pretty cool. But the E36 is the better car. So yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I like to battle people straight up. It sucks that there's people that play games in competitive drifting of all levels. Luckily, we don't have many in clutch kickers, but I hate that, man. I just don't get why you'd want to win. Like, I wouldn't even want to win on a technicality. If I lost the battle and there was a technicality that, like, got them the win, I wouldn't even want it, man. I wouldn't want it. The noise is tuck chewing on the blinds, probably. Oh, and then the Ella with the squeaker. She loves it, dude. She loves playing Take It. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. This has been long. We will do another one. This is a lot of fun. I know I've probably said that every time I've done one of these, but it's been a while. It's been a few years. 1,700 horsepower all drive Escalade. That sounds pretty sick. Okay, wrapping it up. We're going to clutch kickers. So, yeah, that should be a fun weekend. Car seems pretty ready. I've got it on the lift. I got a few more things to do, a few more things to knock out to make sure she's squared away. I had to reband the CV boot. Cody, if you were 18 again, what would you tell yourself? Oh, man, hitting him with the existential question before we ended. That is a good question. I don't know, because there's a lot of bad things that have happened in my life, but it's all led me to where I'm at now, and I'm pretty happy with where I am now. Man, that's tough. I really don't know. Probably don't drink or do anything like that. Don't even waste time with it. Don't go through that, you know, oh, I'm 21, I can go out and drink now phase. It's just a waste of time. It's just a waste of time. Nicholas, they do live stream clutch kickers. They have a really good live stream. You guys should watch it this weekend. They have they do an amazing job on the live stream. Like, it's FD quality, if not better. And it usually doesn't, like, mess up either. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. But clutch kickers this weekend. Hopefully we can do well. Miata seems to be in good spirits. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me. This is a good time. I don't even know how to end this. This is how bad I am at this. I think I figured it out. Okay, all right.